Good evening, everybody. It's Grandmaster Jose Torres coming to you live with the Martial Arts Experience. And as you can see from my logo behind me, we are repping all things City of Honor. That's right. This is our third part of this series that we're going to be doing, where we're bringing on some of the amazing cast and crew of the City of Honor project as we get ready for March 28th, our special premiere of episode 2. Now, this has been a love and labor for me, putting this together and getting this project to happen. City of Honor means so much to me. It really, really does. And I think you guys have been able to see some different people that have we've been blessed to be part of this project. And that is exactly who we have today. But before we start and I make my big announcement for the amazing, amazing person, I want to get you guys excited with the hot City of Honor teaser. That's right. Now, some of you have seen it. We've been getting it shared a lot. It's been going all over the place. But I want to make sure that everybody that's watching this evening, you know what we're talking about. All right. So I'm going to start with this City of Honor premiere and then, teaser, and then we're going to bring our special guest in. So here we go. Boom! Listen, I don't know if you guys get excited as I do, but that is a hot teaser. I'm letting you know we're putting Hulu, Netflix on notice so they know what's about to happen. But I don't want to delay because tonight we have a special guest. We have an amazing, amazing stuntman and actor and star of City of Honor. And he's actually my boss. He's my boss on the show. So we got to bring him on right now. So here he is right now, the amazing Lawrence Walther. How you doing, sir? How's everything?
I'm doing excellent, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Listen, I'm honored to have you on the show tonight.
Every time I see that trailer, I've probably seen it a dozen times. I still get hyped up every time I see it. It is a really good trailer.
It's a good piece of work. Like, listen, sometimes we get excited, right, Lawrence? Like, we're like, oh, man, this is our thing. Man, that thing is hot, Lawrence.
It is hot.
Yeah. Exactly. So Lawrence, obviously the backdrop is this show is the martial arts experience. We talk about everything martial arts, and we have the special feature with the City of Honor. But let's talk about you, Lawrence. Let's tell all of our viewers about you, who you are. Let's go. And how did you get involved with acting in the movie industry?
Yeah, so I have a few jobs. I work in law enforcement here in Delaware, and then I also work part-time at a mixed martial arts gym, Delaware Dragon Martial Arts. I grew up doing martial arts. I'm going in my 34 years. Started out in traditional taekwondo in the early 90s and then transitioned into kickboxing and boxing, and then just always stayed relevant. I had a couple amateur fights and then moved into coaching and training. And it happened to be in like around 2016, I was training a couple clients that actually worked in like the film industry. I had one young lady that was doing some acting, and then I had a buddy of mine, Kevin, who was getting acting, and then he wanted to learn how to like fight to do more action stuff. So I was kind of training him, and then he had an audition with a production company called Redemption 46 Films out of Philadelphia. And him and the director, they had a conversation, and it was like an action zombie film. It's actually called Criers. It's currently streaming on like Tubi. And so he's now since passed away, but his name was Nicholas Wood. Phenomenal guy, phenomenal film director. But Kevin actually dropped my name to him and said, "Hey, I if you're looking for a guy to train like your actors for like combatives and fight choreography, I have a guy in Delaware that I work with." So my buddy Kevin goes, "I hope you don't mind, but I gave this director your number." So it was like a day or two later, this guy Nick reaches out to me, and then we instantly like connected on the phone. We had a passion for films, and I told him, "Oh, listen, man, I don't have any background in this." And he goes, "Well, I don't either. So we would just like to come and hire you." So I kind of got involved in first as a consultant, kind of training the cast, like, hey, this is how you tactically move, this is how you hold some firearms. And then he actually gave me the script and was like, "Hey, if I give you the script and I bring it to a location, do you think you could choreograph some of the action?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I've seen enough action films. I'm a fan. I'm sure I could come up with some stuff." So they kind of got me into creating some fight choreography. And then what happened was some of the actors and the stuntmen that he had couldn't do the moves that I wanted to do. And Nick kind of looked at me and was like, "Well, you got this bald head and it's a zombie film. If we throw some makeup on you, do you think you can do this stunt for us?" So that kind of led into behind the second unit directing and fight choreography to actually doing the stunts and then doing fight choreography. And then, as you know, the independent film in this industry, it's a very tight circle group, right? You know, you connect to one set, and the next, I'm getting a call from another director, and just through word of mouth, I kind of, kept getting more work, kept getting more calls from independent film companies, and that eventually led us to our mutual friend, Mr. Bill Pugh, who I met. Bill. This my man, Bill. He became like a mentor to me. So I met him, and he was former military. He knew I worked in law enforcement. And then he's just been great. So then we formed like a friendship. And then I did a couple films with him. I got introduced to Bill and Darren through Bold Media Films through Bill. And he actually introduced us together at the Action Martial Arts Expo. That's where we first met. And then just continue to, and in my free time between the careers, never thought this was going to be an opportunity for me to get involved in working in films. I've been doing it since like 2018. I've been in a dozen projects, and man, I have a blast. It's great.
That's awesome. Lawrence, tell the viewers about the situation when we first met at the action show and our first project, Killer X. Let them know about that, how that came about.
Yeah, so I had never knew about this Action Expo in Atlantic City, and Bill kind of told me, "Hey man, it's a great platform. You get to see some really good martial artists, a lot of martial arts that we grew up watching in the film industry, and it's a good networking spot." So I remember he introduced me and you, and I think at that time Bill and I had did the film Retaliation with Bill and Darren.
Congratulations! It's streaming now on Fawsome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for making that happen. And so then, when I met you at the convention, we instantly connected, and you were prepping for Killer X. And I remember you looking at me and going, "Hey, I might have a character for you. Like, you have this look of this guy, Leonard, this assassin," and you kind of pitched me the role. And then I thought, okay, this, I'll come in and do a fight scene, with the lead, a female actress, and that'll be it. And the next, I get the script, and I'm like, oh, I actually have some lines of dialogue, and there's a little bit of a little bit of comedic humor with them. And then the biggest shock for me was when the movie poster came out. And then I got my face right next to yours, right next to her, and to Muhammad Kisi, who I was a huge fan of, obviously growing up watching Van Damme movies, and I'm like, this is surreal,
That's awesome. Yeah. You know what? You fell right into that. It was funny because we didn't know each other, before that. We didn't. That was the first day we met. And it was funny because I'm always thinking as a creative, I'm always thinking. I remember I saw you and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's got a great look. Like, we got to use him, And then we've never looked back. And here we are now. You went from killing people to now you're the boss. You know what I mean? Right. Now you're the boss of the show. Let me bring this up for the viewers. There he is, Commander Joe Vanderbosch. With the American flag patch. Yep.
Right. Yep. Looking like a cop. Yeah.
Hey, you're a cop playing a cop, right?
Yeah. Because I remember when you pitched me the idea for the show, and you had first wrote the first episode with Jim Towns. I remember you sending me some pages of the script, and it was kind of like just asking me my opinion about my experience in law enforcement. And it's like, hey, okay, what do you do as far as the we want to make sure that the actors are holding the guns the right way and the training the right way. And then I remember the day you called me, you're like, hey, I think I want to bring you on as a character, make you a commander, but you're not going to fight anybody. You're not going to do action. It's just going to be dialogue. And I'm like, oh man, really?
Yep. And you've been killing it. Like, seriously, Lawrence, you've been doing a great job. You know what I mean? I think the audience is loving you. I think we got some really special scenes and sequences in this episode, especially with us. You know what I mean? With us.
No, yeah, I agree. Like I said, so me getting out of my comfort zone, like I'm very comfortable, obviously, with my martial arts background and fighting background, doing physical action and the stunts, and it's that I feel comfortable doing. When I'm given lines of dialogue and you have to just sit there and read, that becomes something where it's like, okay, you're out of your comfort zone, and I've never had any formal acting training, just from just being able to memorize lines. But being able, what I found has worked best for me in a couple of scenes that I've done is I really feed off the energy of the other actors. So I get to do a scene like you with you, or I shared some scenes with Tara before. It really is like it makes you up your game when they are so switched in. It's like, okay, I can kind of feed off this energy, and I lean a lot on the other actors cast. They kind of carry me through some scenes. So
give yourself, don't, you know what? Listen, audience, and we got viewers watching. Lawrence, give yourself credit. You're good,
yeah.
bro. You're good.
No,
I think
I'm enjoying the challenge, and like I said, I thought I was just gonna, when I got involved in films, I thought it was going to stay very much the stunt side, and just I'll just do the stunt work. But I think the acting bug, like it's like, yeah, you keep challenging yourself. I want to take on more roles and getting more dialogue, and you've given me some opportunities, and Bill and Darren also put me in a short film, Fight the Valkyrie, where I first worked with Tara. And the same thing, I kind of played like this fight, guy that just had a couple lines, and just them kind of pushing me like, no, man, believe in yourself, and, see where this can take you. So I'm having fun with it.
Listen, again, Lawrence, I think you're doing a great job. I think the audience is going to love your character, and we're putting different backgrounds, so
Right.
Everybody's seen episode 1, and they've seen obviously this kind of tug in cheek between you and I. And I think this
Right.
episode is really going to bring a lot of things together for people. And it's special. You know what I mean? I really, really think, and honestly, you knocked it out of the park, man. I think the audience is going to love it, honestly.
No, I appreciate that. And yeah, I when I got to read the script for episode 2, when you had wrote it, I really liked that they had, you were building more of a backstory, kind of tell a little bit of the relationship between, Vanderbosch and Dante. And I don't want to give it away for the fans, but that one scene that I got to do with you is a pretty emotional scene. And I remember even the day filming that, it felt very organic, and you were very switched on, and you were very much feeling the character and everything. And that just made me like have to up my level, my game there when we were doing that scene. And it is definitely by far, I think, some of my best acting that I've done. And that was because, hey man, you were so on it that day. So I'm like, I gotta be right where he's at, because you did an amazing job.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Let's share this. So this is the newest basic poster of us. I mean, that's a strong looking group there. I mean, we got we got the commander, we got Detective Tara. Tara's going to be later in the week. Felix we had last week. And then there's Marcus. Marcus is currently on another film, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get him. Yeah, I think we have Tara on Wednesday, which I'm really excited for. And then we talk about the range of the characters. So here's a screenshot that we basically, I think this is part of the thing. Looking, now we're not going to tell them what they're looking at, but look at it's crazy when you look at this. We're looking inside of an ambulance, the police car behind us. It's nighttime. I mean, I don't know, bro. This is like some Miami, but I don't know, man. This is something special, right, Lawrence?
I tell you, the set pieces that we were able to get for episode 2 just stepped it up. Like, I mean, it was like you said, from filming in the police department to some of the cars and the vehicles and everything like that, really adds to the drama and everything. And then I just think, because the cast, it's such an amazing cast, and become like a family. We really gelled together in episode 1. I was only in a couple scenes, but even on set, like I've been on tons of film sets, and it was just like, man, this feels like we caught lightning in a bottle. Like with the way that you cast, especially that task force, man, everyone kind of really comes together on that set, and there's just, you can kind of feel the magic. And yeah. I know that night when we were filming that, I'm like, man, this is some good stuff.
Yeah. It's funny because we have such, an amazing group, Lawrence, from so many different backgrounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
From, we start with Marcus Taylor, straight out of Compton, very accomplished actor in Hollywood, to Felix, a very accomplished stunt actor, coming off of Cobra Kai and some of these other films, and then you kind of have the newbies, us, but I mean, you have more projects than I've ever done, and then there's Tara, again, who's done tons of projects. I believe she did. I think it was Mayor. I think she did the Mayor with Jeremy Renner. I think Mayor
Kingston. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, which will go into what her later in the week. But we have some really accomplished actors, and then you have some newbies. And there's some newbie guys. That are carrying. They're carrying the weight. They're pushing, because I think it's a great. project. I think Bill and Darren, Bold Media, shout out to them.
Mhm.
The
Oh
look
yeah.
of our show is top notch. It does not look like it's independent. It really doesn't.
No,
I mean, it
no,
looks
yeah, yeah, absolutely not. And not only, like I said, if you're a fan of action, you're going to like the show, but just very, like you said, character driven, and the way that you've been able to add some backstories and really put a lot of dramatic elements into this action show, I think is really what fans are going to enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. And it's been a grind, right, Lawrence? I mean, it's been a grind, from 1 to 2, and then hopefully getting ready
Right.
for 3, 4, 5, whatever we're gonna end up doing. It's got a lot of potential, but the heart is that core group, and
Right.
specifically you as part of the cast. It's magical, honestly.
Right. No, so I agree. Absolutely.
So let's touch base real fast, not to get off track, but it's funny because then over the summer I saw you too. You were working on Warrior Island, correct?
That's right. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Childhood dream come true. I got to play a ninja. So then there it was. Yeah. And once again, I got to thank Bill Pugh for that connection there. So he was a fight choreographer. Introduced me to James and was like, hey, they're looking for martial arts guys to come in and play these ninjas and have a couple fight scenes. And getting to be on there, and that was an awesome experience to see a lot of martial arts legends that you and I grew up with. And then I remember I got to do a little bit of work with Silvio Simac, and that's when I'm like, oh my god, like I watched that guy fight Scott Adkins in one of the Undisputed movies, and he was also in I think it was Transporter 3 where he had a fight scene with Jason Statham. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and he is an amazing guy. Like I know you know him very well. He is a physical specimen, phenomenal martial artist, but just the nicest, humblest guy as well. He was a pleasure to work with on the set.
Yep. Absolutely amazing. So let's go back to the ninja thing, right? Let's share with the viewers because you just worked on another ninja project, right? With Bill, Silent Steel. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so this project came together really quickly. It was kind of a passion project with him and I, and then linking up with Bill and Darren on Bold Media Films. We kind of had this weekend that we were supposed to film some stuff, and some things came through. And like, well, we have this location, we got the time, let's put something together. And so we were like, but it's where we were filming. It was right close to a highway, so we're kind of worried, like, hey, we don't have much time. Let's not have any dialogue. And kind of Bill gave me the challenge of you got to make it silent. So I'm like, okay. So it was definitely a throwback to like a Cannon's, action film in the 80s. We shot that for 2 long days in October at this warehouse, I think, where you filmed a couple scenes for The Killer X. And yeah, man, it's a throwback action, martial arts thing, but it was a really cool experience.
Now, if somebody wants to see because it's a short, where is it at, Lawrence?
It is streaming on, I believe Bill and Darren's Bold Media Film. It's streaming on YouTube. Yep.
Gotcha,
So if you search Silent Steel short film, it should come up.
And you play an FBI agent?
Yeah, just an FBI agent. Yep. There's no character name. It was just, hey, it's the FBI agent. Yep.
Now, he talks. What's going on?
No one talks. So that was the other challenge. Was everything had to be done as far as you're doing physical action, but the dramatic stuff all to be had to do through facial expressions. And then the film, Bill's the guy in the mask, and he's got this plain mask on, but the way that he moves, man, it comes off as, like a scary, eerie adversary for this guy. And man, I'll tell you, it's a very short film, but once him and I start going, it's full fights. Like the action doesn't stop.
That's awesome. So is there going to be, is it a proof of concept? Are you guys going to try to do something? Have you talked about it, or it's on the shelf right now?
No, it's on the shelf right now. Me and Bill have talked about, we would love to expand on it. Cause it is left, if you haven't seen it, there is a cliffhanger at the end. So it left it open for the opportunity. And I would love the chance to be able to explore a little bit more with those characters. If it was just with this scheduling, with trying to get independent films made, that's one of the biggest challenges, getting all the actors lined up and then finding the time to film it. But hopefully we'll see.
Listen, this would be a great opportunity if you need another ninja to just show up. You know
right.
what I mean? I know some people. You know what I mean?
It's it, man.
Let me know. Let me know. Let's go into, so besides stunt, coordinating, besides stunt acting, besides being a regular actor, you're also doing some assistant. Is it assistant directing, second unit? What do we got going on here?
Yeah, I would kind of say like second unit directing. So I think one of the best parts about being involved in independent films in that grassroots is, hey, it can be a very small crew. So then, everyone's like passionate about filmmaking and excited to make the project. So sometimes you can't just be the actor. Like, hey, you might have to. We need you to go move that sandbag here, or hey, And I've always been interested in films. And now, so I kind of like pick Bill and Darren's brain, like, they're setting up the camera for this shot. Why are they setting it up that way? Hey, having to grab the boom mic, get to do things. So then Bill and them have been very gracious where he's like, hey, well, let me show you how I'm doing this and why I'm setting the shot up this way and stuff. So I was kind of like, that was actually when we were filming Fight of the Valkyrie with Tara. And so I kind of like had my short little scene that I did there and then was behind the scenes kind of working on stuff. And it was just kind of getting more involved behind like second unit directing. And then when COVID happened and work kind of stopped and everything was shut down, I actually started writing short action scripts. And I never thought I would become a writer, but I started writing all these different ideas for like little short things that we could get done, and then kind of found a passion for storytelling. So just dabbling in little things with films.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what do you have on the slate? If you have a perfect sequence, what's next down the slate after City of Honor? If you have a perfect sequence.
So Bill Pugh and I, we had written a short film for, it was going to be around like October. We're trying to film it. It's like a vampire slayer movie, very throwback to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
So it was trying to do some action stuff for around like Halloween. So we got that script and waiting for just the time to get the cast to put that together. And then one of my passion projects, I was a huge fan and still am, is one of my favorite superheroes is the Green Hornet. And I would love to do like a short action film based on the Green Hornet and bring in the Kato, the character Kato, and kind of do like an action film that way as well.
That's awesome. So you got to make it happen.
Yeah,
Lawrence,
you got to make it happen.
Talk about something 3 times and it'll matter.
That's it.
Third time's the charm. Third time's
the charm. That's it.
Oh my goodness. So how is it balancing acting, your professional job, your fight coaching? I mean, you got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, that becomes the challenge, right? So, working several different careers, and then obviously right now, the film career is like kind of the passion one, but it kind of takes a back seat to my other responsibilities that I have for the full-time job. Now, at some point, when my life slows down and I retire from the one job, I would like to pursue the film, the film career more. But it is crazy how everything kind of connected all together. Where hey, I grew up wanting to work in law enforcement, mainly probably because of action films, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but obviously, we were talking about it this week. An icon passed away that was very heavily influenced on, I know, me and you and Mr. Chuck Norris, and watching Walker Texas Ranger kind of probably sparked somewhere in my mind that I probably want to pursue working in law enforcement, and then also was doing martial arts. And then everything leading into films. And it's funny how I've been able to like parlay each one of those careers kind of mirrors with the other, right? Things that I do for teaching in law enforcement training academies leads into, coaching and teaching for fighting, led into the film and film fighting and stuff. So I've been able to take something from each of those careers and add it into the film stuff. But yeah, at some point, once I retire, from working in law enforcement and open up a little bit more, I would definitely like to pursue the film a lot more. But I absolutely enjoy coaching. Like I said, I had an amateur kickboxing and boxing career. I ended up retiring from competition in 2008. I suffered a couple injuries. I had a couple concussions, getting a little older. And I will admit, I'm a much better coach and sparring partner than I ever was a fighter. And but I really enjoy. We have some very talented fighters at the gym. I have my one pro female MMA fighter, Rebecca the Giraffe Evans, and she fights this Friday for CFFC at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City. We've been in fight camp with her since October because we've had a couple opponents, the fights that fell through. So it's been a long process, but she works hard, and I'm looking forward to her performing well on Friday.
Awesome. Now let's share with the viewers, because you have to dibble and dab a little bit, because we have our new project with you, me, and Felix,
Yeah.
with Action 365.
Mhm.
Let's tell our audience a little bit about it, your involvement with it, and where do you think it's going to go?
Yeah, so no, I think what you started to notice, and I kind of started doing unofficially with the training these. There's a lot of independent filmmakers around this area that we live in, right? So now with all these independent film companies coming up, filming in Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, I think there's a lot of actors that don't know where to go to get stunt training, don't know where to go to or even if you have martial artists, the film fighting is a little different if you've never fought for films and then your actual fighting. So trying to find a place to learn. And I even remember when I first started getting involved in stunt work in like 2018, I was searching for places and everything was either in DC or, you had to go down to Florida or it was up in New York. So I think, creating this company and you starting this Action 365 around this area here is really going to allow people that are interested in getting into how do I break into the film stuff as far as working as a stunt person or doing some fight scenes. So I'm very excited, that to be able to partner with you and Felix and provide this training, but more of like an official platform and not just through word of mouth through production companies.
Right. Well, and I think what's cool is and we're working. I know we talked about it last week, but we're going to be launching hopefully at the end of the week. Is our April 25th, which will be in Lancaster. Action 365 seminar in Lancaster. That'll be based at the Lancaster Tong Soo Do School there. And that's Master Brown. We're going to be doing a 2-hour workshop out of there. Again, just introduction, just show people angles, how to stack stuff. And again, kind of building our team so that we have more access to, like you said, on the independent side, because a lot of people don't understand it's so hard. You know what I mean? And not everybody not everybody in the industry is nice. Not everybody wants to collaborate. People want to keep people in check and don't necessarily want to, well, I know this and you don't know this. And that happens, right? I mean, it really does, And sometimes you get to get access to people and then sometimes you don't,
Right. No, absolutely. I've heard you talk about it before. You kind of use the term gatekeepers, right? And it's like, hey, sometimes just like a lot of industries, I'm sure, I know the fight industry is the same way with actor stuff. It can be a very tight-knit group and being able to introduce yourself when you don't know anybody, you don't have a connection to be able to break in can be a challenge. So I think it's awesome that, we have this platform to be able to offer people that are interested a way into it, give them some guidance, right, and everything, and just teach them a couple skills that they can add to their resume as they're going on castings. Because so much it can be, when you're going to casting as well, hey, do you have this background? Well, no, I don't have that background. Well, you got to go get the training. Where do I go get the training? Well, now you have a place to go get the training at. So
yeah. Oh my God. I had so many great things, right, Lawrence? Like so many great things. But again, it has to take people like us, right? That let's look at the bigger picture, because again, everybody's so worried about themselves and hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. But I feel like there's time too on the independent side where you can open up your doors and give back, and try to bring people up,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for our viewers, I have to tell you, Lawrence has been instrumental from the law enforcement advisor side of things to helping us with equipment and stunt props and the badges. I mean, we really leveled up for this time, as far as that. I mean, that was important. We had to upgrade. Can't use the Amazon badges, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to be legitimate. This is a real task force, you know what I mean?
That's it. So that everything got stepped up in episode 2. Everything did.
No doubt. And it's funny, I'll drop this nugget. What a lot of people don't know is right, Lawrence, I had this crazy idea to do this show, and I was literally going to base it around like a commercial building with cubicles and a Ford Interceptor. We had one police car with no lights, and that's what we we're going to try to base it.
And that was it. And then said, going to locations that you've gotten everything. I'm like, man, this is I don't know how you're doing it, but this is awesome. So the way that it all fell together and everything, just the set pieces. Man, the show really looks expensive. I know it's on a modest budget. It's independent, but man, I think it's right up there competing with some of the bigger cop shows that are on TV.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, SVU and these other guys, they don't have the same access that we do. You know what I mean? And shout out to the Violent City Police Department. Shout out to Steve Triantos. I mean, those guys have embraced the show, brought us aboard, and they've been with us on the journey, Lawrence. And again, you're in law enforcement, so how difficult these things are, you know?
And that brings an authenticity to it, right? Like it makes it real. Like, hey, when you're filming in a real police station, like there's no set pieces here. Like this is an actual police station that we're filming in, actual like, police vehicles and first responder stuff. So those details that a prop person would have to deal with, you don't have to deal with because you're actually doing it in real life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, and people are going to see on this one, like we have real uniforms, we have some really cool things that are going to happen, which again, from a production side, are really, we stepped up for this one. Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. And like I said, I've seen a little bit and it's in the teaser trailer, so I'll talk about a little bit. But I am really excited to see this fight sequence in this warehouse and the action that you guys stepped up. It's taken to a whole nother level, and not just because we got to see Dante's character a little bit. Now you're getting to see the whole task force members. Add their little flavor and getting their time and some action. And I'm very excited to see how that cast all come together to do that.
I think, it was a great opportunity when we wrote the story. We wanted to try to give, again, everybody shine, right? Let everybody shine, get a little bit of love. You know what I mean? And I think that's important. Again, for all the characters, but for the audience, them to buy in and kind of see what we're doing. But yeah, man, the whole task force is they're jumping. They're popping.
I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lawrence, what do you feel is some of the biggest challenges on the independent side of things? What do you feel is some of the biggest challenges that you have to deal with?
I definitely think location. You're finding, like you said, finding places to film. If you don't have those connections, can be a task. Because I even know when I started writing, I would even limit my creativity around, well, where do I actually think I can film this? And then the same thing. I remember some scripts that I was sent from some directors, and they're like, "Oh, well, we want to do this." I remember one time I had a director send me a script, and they wanted to do this thing by a waterfall, and they wanted to have two of the actors jump off the waterfall. And I go, "Well, that's great, but what location are you doing this?" "Well, we don't know. We're going to find one." So it's like, okay. And of course, they never found a location that worked. So that whole, it would have been a beautiful sequence, but they had to write it out of the script because they never had any idea of where they're going to film that to begin with. So location is always a struggle, and then finding, like I said, everyone working around the majority of the independent cast, it's not their main jobs, right? It's like, hey, if you're lucky enough for an actor to work as a phone actor, most of them have other careers, and then they're trying to get into acting. So then working around people's schedules, it can be, a challenge, and then just the time that you have to film, where, hey, filming a fight scene. I know some more independent action guys have talked about it. I know Scott Adkins has talked about it before, where, hey, he doesn't get a big Hollywood budget where he has 3 weeks to film a fight scene. He has 3 days to film it. So things that a whole big network would be able to do, he has smaller time. So that can be I'm sure you felt before, time restraints where, hey, we have this script or we have this location. We only have it for a certain amount of time. We only have so much time to do. And you want to do your best job, especially with either the acting or the physical side. So maybe you don't like that one take, and you're like, man, I want to do it over again, but we might not have time. We might have to move on. So then you're kind of settling for your performance as well, and maybe you feel like you're not giving the best performance you could have if you had more time to film it more.
Right. Listen, for the audience, so Lawrence is the man. Like if you need somebody to pump you up. And I had to tell a story. Is opening scene of City of Honor. I had the fight sequence where I had to rescue a girl, and I was doing a knife. And Lawrence is the second unit, right? He's there. He's with Bill Willis, and they're behind it. And I see Lawrence, and I gotta tell you, if you need a hype guy, if you need a guy that's gonna make you feel good, Lawrence is the guy, because I don't want to say I'm unsure of myself, but I'm a little nervous. I am sometimes, when you're doing something, I hope this looks good, and you just look over at Lawrence, right? So I tell the crowd, you look at Lawrence just looks at you, just gives you the head nod, like, yeah,
man. Because I remember when you filmed that sequence with Nick, and shout out to Nick as well, a stunt guy I've gotten to work with on a few projects. And the same thing, we were filming at that barn, and we had a time restraint. So it was we were rushing to get that fight scene done. And then I remember the cast is feeling the pressure a little bit at the time, and things are getting rushed. And I remember just sitting back going, man, this is this is better than some of the stuff that's on network TV. Like, I'm like, ain't no one fighting with knives like that, like on these major things. So then, yeah, as everyone, I know, like, you're kind of, feeling the pressure of it. I'm just sitting back going, I can't wait till you see what I'm seeing. And then to be able to sit there and watch it on the big screen. And I remember the first time that we saw it on the first premiere and it popped, man, the audience, you can tell the audience reaction. They enjoyed it. So I was like, yeah, man, he's got it.
Yeah. If I remember, Lawrence, you were like, bro, that was sexy, bro.
That's sexy, man. I was like, yeah. I was like, no one's doing that on TV. You're good. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you. So again, if you guys got to hire anybody, you got to get Lawrence. Lawrence can do multiple jobs, multiple roles. So it's very, very important. So again, I got to give my kudos to Bill Pugh for introducing us, and, allowing this to happen. Bill's a great guy as well. We'll wish him all the best. I know he's got a lot of stuff going on, and
you guys, not to give it away, but you have the fight scene with him in this episode. We were going to bring him into the City of Honor, and I can't wait to see that, man.
Yeah. I think the audience is going to love it. Me and Bill have known each other now for probably 20 plus years, kind of got, work together as far as communicating with martial arts and seeing each other at events for probably over 20 years. But this was cool to kind of have everything come together. But I called him in. I reached out to Bill. I said, hey, we need you, brother. We need you. And he's like, all right. So Bill is definitely in this, and I think the crowd's going to like it. So
yeah, he's been so great to me. Like, obviously, became a friend, and that's one good thing I also do like about this independent film thing is you meet so many people that do become friends. Because everyone's passionate about filmmaking and the connection and stuff, and he really was able to take me underneath his wing and kind of help me out and educate me about the business because I didn't know anything about it. So as far as like, give me some advice about, hey, maybe you want to avoid these certain, these production companies or these certain people that have had issues and bad reputations, and kind of protected me. And, he's kind of given me some opportunities early on that really led to some big things for me. So he's been very influential in my getting into film work. So I just can't thank him enough. He's like my older brother as far as like the stunt side goes, my mentor. So yeah.
He's a great guy. So, Lawrence, so let's leave with, so again, you said some of the challenge. What advice can you give, let's say, a stunt person or someone who's interested in doing stunts on the independent side? How can they, get involved or breakthrough? Like, how can they get involved? Like, think of it. I'm a young kid or maybe a 30-year-old guy that says, you know what, I can move, I can fight, but I've never done stunts. Like, can you give them a playbook of, hey, man, this is how I did it, or this is how you can do it? Any advice you can give them?
Well, the first thing I'll tell them is go check out Action 365. And and start attending their seminars. But no, I think now, I mean, obviously, when I was growing up, there was no internet, right? There was no YouTube. So if you wanted to go take a seminar somewhere, or you wanted to go learn something, you had to find it. And then, I would look in the back of like black belt magazines and things like that. Now, you can go on YouTube and you can learn, certain stunt falls and things like that. And then obviously going online and searching, there's some pretty good stunt companies and everything, and just, hey, putting yourself out there, get yourself a resume. If you have the background, get that training, that certifications. I just tell stunt guys, stay ready. Like you never know when that opportunity is going to come, and you want to make sure that, hey, you're training, you're working on your craft. The more you do stuff, the better you're getting at it. Now with the technology, with cell phones and everything, it's very easy for you to make yourself a reel. You can set up on a tripod in your basement, put out a little mat, and like me and my buddies, we just get together and just do fight scenes, and then put it out there on YouTube, and put it out on your Instagram. Instagram is great. I've definitely made a lot of, especially with the film connections on Instagram. You'll get followers, and make connections with filmmakers in New York. So the platform is definitely there for this generation to get yourself out there and put it out there. Just start making stuff.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And it's taking initiative, right, Lawrence? Like, you got to take initiative. Nobody's going to do anything for you. And I think that's what it is, right? Like, everybody thinks, oh, well, I deserve this, or I should get this. Nobody's going to give you nothing, right?
Yeah. I remember watching an interview one time, and they said, yeah, like you have those very, very lucky few that get discovered, right? And maybe that's one way you do get into the industry. I mean, you talk Ray Park, who a famous martial arts stuntman who got Darth Maul, all because someone saw him at a gym doing his bow kata and the person had a connection with George Lucas. That's like 1 in a million shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're waiting for someone to discover you, it's no, you got to put yourself out there. Like you said, you got to start filming yourself, put it on a platform like Instagram or your Facebook or a YouTube channel, and make things happen.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, real fast before we kind of close out, we have Amanda's dad, Mr. Duarte.
Nice.
He sent a quick message. He said Amanda's glad to be part of this project, and he told the viewers that he's excited to watch episode 2.
I like it.
Yeah,
well, that's the other thing. So at some point, whether it's in City of Honor or we do another short project, we got to get Amanda doing some action. Because I now like follow her on social media, and man, what a phenomenal, amazing actress. She plays a great job as your daughter, but a phenomenal martial artist. Like I want to see her getting some action stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say, but there might be something in the storyline for her. If currently,
okay.
Only she knows, because I've talked to her about it. And her
Gotcha.
parents. But yeah, no. Honestly, I think she's a rising talent. I'm hoping that she definitely gets a recognition from City of Honor. I've been blessed to have her as the actress playing my daughter, and she's just a wonderful family, wonderful people. Leandro and his wife, just amazing people. So they'll be at the screening as well. And for the viewers, Lawrence, you'll be at the screening, right?
I will be. Yep.
So 6:00, everybody, we have the premiere of episode 2, and it'll be at the Burlington Regal movie theaters at 6:00. Make sure you get there a little bit before, because we're going to be moving. We're definitely going to be moving. We've already had a calandrum of issues today. So it was crazy. And I'll share this with everybody because I didn't get to post. So we ended up selling out our first block of tickets this morning. And I started
good issues. Those are good issues to have.
So we sold out the first thing, right? And I'm like, oh my God. And obviously I had some game plans, but I had to reach out to the theater. There's things that I had to do. But we ended up selling our first block. It was 150 some tickets. It was great. It's great to get more than 20 people to come to the movie theater for a project is phenomenal.
Yes, right.
So we hit the 150 mark, and then we sold out. So it didn't pop till like 8 a.m. So then all of a sudden I start getting all these messages from people. Oh my God, you're sold out. I didn't buy my tickets. I go, oh. So then I was trying to post on Facebook, and I got kicked out of Facebook and said I posted too much. And I was like, what is going on? So for all the viewers that are watching us, yes, we did sell out this morning, but I was able to secure more tickets. I got it back up. Do not wait until last minute.
Yeah.
Let everybody know. Lawrence has been now. You came to Killer X, right, sir? You came to Killer X?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep.
You came to the multiple City of Honors.
Honors.
We do not disappoint. We put asses in the seat. That's what happened.
And it is something to see it different on the big screen. It is definitely an experience. Yeah.
I agree. And again, a lot of shows don't do that, right? Like we're in a unique situation that these major network shows, they're not doing four-walling screenings at the local movie theater,
No. And then, like you said, then that fan interaction, right? And then they get to meet some cast members there, and a little bit of interaction and stuff like that. And it's an experience, So yeah, it's always a fun event.
Absolutely. So we're gonna have myself. We'll have Lawrence that's there. Tara's gonna be there. Shannon plays the ADA. He's gonna be there. Danielle, who plays the Shannon plays the DA. Danielle plays the ADA.
Right.
Gabriella, and then we have Gabby Faye, who's a new character. I just had her on last week. I think everybody's gonna like her too. She did great in her scene.
Yeah. And like I said, when I remember being on set the day that she was filming, and it just fell right into the role. What a talented actress. The scene that she has with you, and just fit right into the cast. I thought, I'm like, oh, she must know somebody, and she's like, no, yeah, just this. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. She fell right in. Yep.
We've been so great about the leads. Like we've been on the money with some of the, honestly, I'm really happy with the casting. Every person that we've had has been just a gem, man. Just a gem.
Yep. And even like with some of the scenes where you're getting some background actors, right? Like you're getting a lot of extras, which you don't really see for like an independent film. And even all them so passionate about being there. Hey, everyone shows up, even these little supporting characters that, hey, might not have a line, but man, they're just the energy on the set every time I've been there. City of Honor has been one of my best experiences as far as fun with filming. I've never had a bad time on a set with City of Honor. Yeah, it can be long days, right? And you start to feel the pressure and, the time restraints, something like that. But man, it's always a fun experience working with you guys in Bold Media Films.
It's awesome. Shout out again to Bill and Darren, Bold Media. Without them, this isn't possible. They're magicians. I mean, honestly, they've done a great job. And if you didn't know who they were, you know who they are now. City of Honor's making waves. They're phenomenal. Available for other projects. But again, they're going to be really busy with our show because we're probably going to get signed to at least 8 seasons. I think at least 8 seasons of this, Lawrence. At least, yeah. So really excited. But hey, for all of our viewers, thank you so much for staying aboard with us for the last 45 minutes, sharing this with Lawrence. Lawrence, any final words or anything? Because I am going to make you do a sign off for us. So you're going to do a display for the audience now. But
you're putting pressure on me because I'm like, man, you are so natural. Like once you leave like the acting thing, I can see you like hosting like you host a podcast. We do like a nighttime talk show or something. Like you just got that personality gift of gab. But no, it has been awesome to talk to you. I think the last time I was trying to remember when we saw each other was probably filming before Christmas. I think it's the last time we actually saw each other in person. So I'm looking very excited to go to the premiere and reconnect with some of the cast. See the fans watch this new episode. I think we definitely upped it from episode 1. I love where you're taking the story, and I think the fans are going to be really excited. But I appreciate you having me on and getting to talk to you, man.
All right, listen, you're going to get a break from doing the sign off because we had a late addition. We have to give them a shout out. A shout out. Detective Snow.
Guys, yes, see?
Detective Snow. Detective Snow is here. Listen, she didn't want to wait. She didn't want to wait till Wednesday. She want to come on the show.
Come on now, right? And that's the same thing. Like Tara has been so gracious with me as far as patient when I have to do some dialogue acting. And just like I told you, I feed off the actors. And it's like, okay, every time I'm comfortable, hey, the cast is good. I just got to remember to deliver the lines and just relax.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, so this is the sign off. I'm putting you under pressure. Yeah. So you're going to say your name, right? You're going to say, this is Lawrence Walther from City of Honor, and you're watching the Martial Arts Experience.
Okay. All right. Ready? Here we go. All right.
Ready?
So this is Lawrence Walther, and you have been watching an interview for City of Honor on the Martial Arts Experience.
Boom. Great job.
Bam.
You heard it first from the commander. The commander. Uh-oh, Tara's giving some love. Hold on one second. She said, you're doing amazing, truly. Awesome. So for our viewers, Miss Tara will be joining us on Wednesday. So get ready for that. Detective Snow.
I will be tuning in to watch that episode.
Yes. Absolutely. Again, for all the viewers, thank you for spending tonight with us. Thank you, Lawrence, for joining us. Don't forget, Saturday, 6 p.m., premiere episode 2 at the Burlington Regal. God bless everybody and hope everybody has a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.